Anelle and Jihoon, Part 50. Taiho. His warm smile broke across his face the moment he saw her. His hand lifted in an involuntary wave before he stepped forward, faster, then ran. Nihal! Taiho! She exhaled, her voice breaking with emotion. They met halfway. He didn't care about the crowd, the noise, or the stares. He pulled her into his arms and held her so tight her feet nearly lifted. Nihal's eyes filled with tears, her hands clutching the back of his sweater like she was afraid he'd disappear again. Behind them, her mother smiled, grateful, relieved, and the twins giggled through their own shy tears. Taiho turned to them, his eyes red-rimmed but his grin unstoppable. He bowed deeply, respectfully. "Welcome to Korea, Alma. I'm honored." Her mother stepped forward and cupped his face gently. "You've taken care of my daughter with honor. May God bless you, my son." That was all Taiho needed. His lips trembled as he whispered, "Thank you, Ma." The drive back was full of laughter, overlapping voices and stories tumbling out too fast to finish. Taiho reached for Nihal's hand over the console and didn't let go once. In the back seat, her mother closed her eyes and smiled, silently grateful for answered prayers. This wasn't just an arrival, it was the beginning of a family. Today was the day they'd visit Taiho's new home, and for the first time, Anelle would see where her fiancé's closest friend lived. More than that, Taiho's mystery guest, Nihal, and her family had arrived. Jihoon stood at the window, adjusting the cuffs of his cream linen shirt. His reflection showed calm, but inside he was humming with joy. He glanced at Anelle, who was picking an earring to match her light floral dress. "You look like summer," Jihoon said with a soft smile. Anelle blushed. "I hope it's not too bright. I want to make a good first impression." "You always do," Jihoon murmured, walking over to kiss her forehead. "Let's check if Auntie Zola is ready." They found her in the living room, already dressed in a stunning pink and blue traditional dress. She looked up and beamed at them. The drive to Taiho's villa was smooth. It sat nestled in the hills beyond the city, a modern but soulfully designed estate with cascading terraces, flower beds, and soft fountains singing to the breeze. The gate slowly opened to reveal the grandeur: stone arches, large glass walls, and a beautifully paved garden path. Anelle gasped as she stepped out. "He lives here?" Jihoon chuckled, taking her hand. "Taiho is private, but he's earned every inch of this place." As they approached the wide oak doors, they opened before they could knock. Taiho stood there, dressed casually in a white shirt and tailored trousers, his face lit with joy. "Hyung!" he exclaimed, pulling Jihoon into a tight hug, then to Zola, bowing respectfully. "Auntie Zola, finally in my home. Welcome." Zola nodded proudly. "A man who knows how to host. I'm impressed already." Then Taiho turned to Anelle. "My hero." He smiled gently. "Today you meet my world." Inside, the villa opened into warmth. High ceilings, framed memories, soft classical music, and the smell of something rich baking in the oven. Anelle scanned the elegant interiors, her eyes catching on three young girls gathered in the hallway, giggling. "Taiho!" one called. "They're here!" And then came Nihal. Dressed in a soft peach blouse and cream pants, her presence was gentle yet radiant. She smiled the moment she saw them, and there was no mistaking the connection when she met Taiho's eyes. "You must be Anelle," Nihal said, approaching. "I've heard so much about you. Welcome." "And you must be Nihal," Anelle replied warmly, offering a hug. Zola greeted her next. "You are the reason Taiho smiles brighter these days?" "I try," Nihal chuckled, cheeks glowing. Behind her, a middle-aged woman stepped forward, Nihal's mother, graceful but with visible strength in her expression. "Jihoon," she greeted, recognizing him from news and Nihal's stories. "Thank you for making our daughters safe here." "And this is my Auntie Zola," Jihoon introduced. The two women looked at each other with recognition. not of the past, but of shared journeys. Zola opened her arms. "You've raised strong daughters. I see it." "I tried," Nihal's mother said softly. Her voice broke just slightly. "But it was Nihal who raised us in the end." There was a silence. Zola took her hand and the moment turned tender. "Tell us." Over tea and laughter, Nihal's mother shared how, years ago, a sudden stroke had nearly taken her life. Nihal, barely out of school, left everything behind to care for her twin sisters and work in clinics to support the family. "She didn't complain," her mother whispered, wiping her eyes. "She was my second chance at life." Anelle reached out to squeeze Nihal's hand. "You're incredible." Nihal shook her head gently. "We all do what we must. Like you, Anelle. Like Zola. Like Taiho." Just then, the twins rushed to Jihoon and Anelle's baby, who was gurgling joyfully in his stroller. They squealed, kneeling beside him, offering tiny toys and snacks. "He's smiling at us!" one of them shouted. "Can we hold him?" "Carefully," Anelle laughed, watching their delight. Taiho stood beside Jihoon, their eyes taking in the room full of people, connections, new laughter. Jihoon leaned slightly. "You chose well." Taiho looked at Nihal from across the room, who was helping her mom with tea. Later, Jihoon and Taiho took a walk around the back garden path. The lights cast soft shadows under the trees, the cool night air calming around them. "You chose well, my brother," Jihoon said, clapping Taiho on the back. "Nihal was worth the tears." Taiho chuckled. "She is worth freezing Yura and the Queen." They both burst into laughter, so loud that Taiho had to hold Jihoon's arm to steady himself. Jihoon laughed until his sides hurt. "They've never been the same. After we unfroze the Queen, she hasn't dared to speak to anyone." "Did you watch the last footage?" Taiho asked, wiping his eyes. "She only stays in bed, but she's unfrozen now," Jihoon pointed out. "The after effect is fear," Taiho answered with a grin. "And Yura?" Jihoon began, shaking his head. "She trembles every time she tries to hold anything," Taiho said. "She says it's from the plastic surgery she had done." Jihoon scoffed. "The surgery made her look even worse." They both broke into laughter again, nearly stumbling into the hedge. By the time they returned to the courtyard, the candles had burned lower, but the laughter of the others still filled the air. Jihoon hugged Taiho goodbye. "I'm happy for you," he said. "And I'm proud of you," Taiho replied. Jihoon drove back home with Anelle and Zola, while Taiho remained behind, thrilled to finally enjoy a quiet evening with his new family. Tomorrow would bring more plans, more fittings, more joy, but tonight belonged to brotherhood, love, and laughter under the stars.